Hi, my name is Mark Cooper. I am a student at Life University, getting ready to graduate this year, and I want to give a health talk to you today, kind of telling you about your spine, what spine health is, what a subluxation is, and what a chiropractor can do to help you with that, to help you with some of your issues when it comes to subluxations. So I wanted to talk to this group today because you're young, you're athletes, you play in sports, and I feel like you think at this point of your life, well, I don't have to worry about any of the stuff with the spine or my joints because I don't have arthritis, I'm young and I'm healthy. And I want to kind of show you today that yes, you are young and healthy and you might not have arthritis right now, but what is happening throughout your lifetime right now can affect you into the future. And in fact, I would say that young athletes who play in contact sports are probably at a higher risk for having issues in the future. So I want to start with showing you basically just a dry model of the spine. So this is your spine, and from the front you can see that it's perfectly straight. This one might not be because it's an older model, but from the front view, your spine should be perfectly straight. And that allows the body to really take the compressive load that gravity puts on us on a daily basis and be able to handle it. You see all these cushions in between each vertebra. Those are the discs. And when your spine is completely straight like this and it's a healthy spine, it can handle the gravity that is pushed down on top of us. Where we start to get some issues is when the spine isn't exactly straight. Maybe you got a curve in here, maybe you got a bend or a tilt or a subluxation. So a subluxation is, basically where vertebra is misaligned. It's not where it's supposed to be. When something like that happens, what do you think happens to the gravity on this spine if I tilt it like that?
Compresses it.
It can't handle the load as well. If it's something straight up like this and you're pressing straight down, it can really handle that. If it's tilted a little bit, it's pressing straight down, it just doesn't handle it as well. And after years and years of something like that going on, we get what a lot of people know as arthritis. Your joint's misaligned, it's under a lot of pressure, and it starts deteriorating and breaking down after years. And a lot of people that have arthritis, especially older athletes, they would look at x-rays and stuff and say, yeah, I can see my bones are kind of out of shape there, or they're not where they're supposed to be, or they look junky because I have arthritis. Well, that's actually not the case. They have arthritis a lot of times because their bones were out of place in the beginning because they had a subluxation and it caused a lot of issues. Once you have one subluxation, it just compounds on top of it. It starts putting more force in that area. Our body has to compensate. We get arthritis. Gravity works harder on us. So it's really important to have a very straight spine from the front. From the side, we have curves. It's completely different. So we have a cervical curve, thoracic curve, lumbar curve. And that also helps with the compression force of gravity, but it really helps with shock absorbing. So as you're walking or you're taking hits or anything like that, this is the main shock absorber of the body. And it's very, very strong because it's this curved shape. So if you think about it, think of any big, long suspension bridge or anything like that that's ever been built. The ones that last a long time, they're not completely straight, they're not completely flat. They all have a little bit of a curve to them, because that curve is what helps to support it. It's a stronger structure when it's curved like that. So you're probably wondering, why is it if the spine's straight, I shouldn't have any deterioration, nothing should be going wrong if everything's straight. So why do people get arthritis? Why do people have issues? The problem is, and you're probably going through a lot of this right now, as a young athlete, we take a lot of hits. There's a lot of little micro traumas. There's a lot of injuries. There's a lot of postural things to where we hold our bodies a different way. or like we have posture issues. You're probably working on a computer a lot or a phone. You're probably bent over, hunched over a little bit more. You take hits, you get muscle guarding, sometimes you get a little subluxation. So those things, if not properly taken care of, can just compound and compound and compound after years and years, and then you end up with arthritis and a lot of different issues. So when I say a lot of different issues, I mean a lot of different issues. So all these things that you see here, these are the spinal nerves. There's 31 pairs of them. And can you guess what they go out and take care of, or what their use is?
No.
Okay, that's fine. So they actually serve a function to every single system in the whole entire body. The brain is up here, has the brain stem. All these nerves come out. They control everything in the whole body. Your kidneys, your liver, your stomach, your heart, your reproduction.
So it comes from your brain?
Your brain stem, and comes out through these spinal nerves, and they literally control everything. And it works by the brain sends messages down here, they go out, and then the organs or whatever these go out to send messages up to the brain. And it's a constant flow of communication. So what can happen when you have a subluxation? So you see that they come out right there. So I want you see where they come out. This is called the intervertebral foramen there. That's where the spinal nerves come out, and it's made up of these two bones. But if you have a subluxation, you see how that hole's kind of getting smaller? Mm-hmm. So I want you to stick your pinky in there where that nerve would be coming out. Can you feel the pressure on it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So just a little teensy little move in that, a little misalignment, and you felt the compression that can happen on that nerve. And that can actually stop up to 60% of the communication between that nerve and the brain with a little compression like that. So that can cause a lot of issues in your function. And you might not even know it's happening. It can be happening for a long time before you actually even feel symptoms. So that can end up being an issue that compounds over years and years and years, and then you finally realize, well, I had a subluxation there. If I would have got that taken care of, maybe I would have been better. So how do chiropractors fix this? Like, what is it that we do that makes this work better? So I told you a little misalignment can cause, a little bit of a compression on that. So what we do is we alleviate this misalignment. Well, okay, so you take the compression off the nerve. What does that help? Actually, it helps pretty much everything. When you think about it, science has proven that over 90 days, a 90-day span, all of our cells in our body can be replicated and recreated and recycled. So every 90 days, if everything's working correctly, basically you're a whole new person. That is the main thing. It heals us, it repairs us. Every 90 days that's happening, but what if you have a loss of function there? A loss of function because you have a compression, it's probably not happening. So if we can relieve that, let the nerve impulses flow from your spine back to your brain and all over, your whole body functions better, you heal better, you feel better, and you don't have to worry about the added risk of arthritis over the years or your bones deteriorating. So that's a little bit what we do. That's a little bit about the spine. Do you have any questions?
Yes. So if if it's compressed, does that make you sick?
It can make you sick. It depends on the area. So a lot of things throughout the thoracic region, they kind of control your respiration, your heart. A lot of things lower control your bowel, GI, your reproductive issues. So honestly, if you're having an issue with one of these nerves that control something, it can cause bad effects in that thing that it's reaching out to. So if it's going out to your kidneys and that nerve is affected, it can affect that kidney. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And when you think about it, when baby is first conceived, the first thing that is built is the nervous system. And that nervous system grows the rest of the body. So it starts with the nervous system. The nervous system shoots out all over and grows the rest of this body. So wouldn't it make sense that this is what controls the whole body?
Mm-hmm.
The same thing that built the whole body? So, yeah, any effect here, it can have effect on a lot of your visceral organs. It can make you sick.
So what do you do if you have scoliosis? Because I have bad scoliosis.
If you have scoliosis, sorry. So if you have scoliosis, you kind of have a bend like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you go into a chiropractor, it's not like you go in, I got adjusted, now I'm fixed. It doesn't work like that. But over a long period of time, so your spinal column and your muscles that surround it, there's proprioception here, which means a position sense among your nerves. So your nerves know when they're feeling out of place or when they're feeling like they should be in the right place. So after coming to a chiropractor for not a long time, but after coming many times doing a lot of care, eventually it can stop the curve from progressing. Sometimes it can even diminish the curve a little bit. It depends on where you are in that stage. Because if you have a lot of bone deterioration because of that scoliosis, sometimes that's harder to fix. But if it's kind of early on and you don't have a lot of that deterioration yet, sometimes you can actually fix the curve. But basically, you're letting your body know this is the correct position. And after time and time of getting that adjusted and getting that fixed, your body starts to get used to this normal position. And it can actually fix that area, which will make your whole body function better because you know your nerves are functioning better. Anything else?
No.
Good?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Can you hit that for me?